What is your dream life? Is it abundance, money, fame, fortune? I think generally speaking, we are all seeking elements of that. But I'm talking about the deeper layers within us, right? I used to work for a fintech corporation a couple of months ago. My life has completely changed. I grew up thinking all my life that the 9 to 5 was the dream. And don't get me wrong, it's a very lucrative career path. I was making 200,000, give or take. And I was very comfortable. They call it the golden handcuffs, right? They got you locked in. It's an attractive dopamine hit that comes in every 2 weeks. You get the paycheck. And it's pretty significant when you see that money roll in. And I never thought I'd be the guy making these kinds of videos, but if you stay with me through the video, you'll see how I tie this up. To me, the corporate career was the dream life. Was the dream life. It was that dream life. We all want. When I got that role, I was in California. I got offered the position. And then I decided to move to Las Vegas, Nevada. That was a dream in itself, and I'm here now. So I'm thankful in one sense that job allowed me to come to my dream state, move to a new city, start a new life, and really get away from everyone, including my family, including my friends. And sometimes to attain your dream life and at least to get back on track, you need to cut off almost everything except your dog, who's upstairs right now. She's a senior dog. I think it's necessary to disconnect from everything that's been pulling at you. And I came to a conclusion that the corporate life is not my dream life. And although I'm actively I just started interviewing again, and I think it's just a matter of time before I re-enter the workforce. But, something interesting happened as well during these interviews is there was a little bit of a disappointment factor. I do like the money. I'm also very selective on what the level of stress I'm willing to undertake or forego and find a medium of that money exchange. But then again, I think we all have that inner calling, right, of offering our gifts that we have, such as, starting off a YouTube channel. Do you know how scared I was to start my YouTube channel? I couldn't. I was paralyzed for about 3 months or so, just in fear and anxiety of what to post, what camera, what equipment to get, the lighting, the sound, and really the bare minimum basics of where I am at today really comes down to this mic, a little tripod, and my phone. I very rarely even use the studio that I've built upstairs. You may have seen my other videos. So I was looking for ways to create an environment. And now that I'm here, I don't even need to operate in that environment that's so beautiful, nicely lit, looks like a space, dark, ambient, well lit, black walls and all that. And I really spend time there anymore. In terms of creating videos, I'm hardly there. I'm editing a lot there, but it's a creative space. So that's one thing checked off my box. But what's funny about that whole process of the setup was I was looking for things to do to delay execution, action. I have personally come to the realization that a lot of us fear who we may become. A lot of us fear the uncertainty that lies ahead of the unknown. I fear about the next step. I fear about what if not. I fear about what if I don't make money. All the fears you have, I have. The difference between someone who decides to pursue it and who doesn't is really a fine line. It's just taking the action. It sounds so simple, huh? You don't have to quit your 9 to 5 to start this. Because I know that's what your follow-up question will be, but how do I sustain it, you idiot? Where do I get the money? I'm not saying quit your job like I did. You can do both. You actually need to prioritize your priorities. What is your calling? What's the vision? When I go on these long meditative walks that I post about all the time, when I fast from food and I do intermittent fasting, my brain is really working. I mean, regardless of all of that, I think I have a very complex mind. We all do, but I think a lot, I see a lot, I feel a lot. I've succeeded in a lot of things that I've done in my career path and what I've achieved in music as a artist. I have an extensive portfolio of work. Right now I am auditioning and I'm signed by a couple of agencies in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm following that on the side and I'm doing this. I run a couple of faceless YouTube channels. Not making money yet. But see, I cannot operate from the mind frame of raise my return on the time. The question is, do I want to make a corporation money and trading my time? If my future employer finds this, that's okay. They can fire me. I mean, I'm assuming they will, but I don't know. But that's assuming that I get signed up or I get picked up by a corporation. But you are trading your time for their profits and their money, and you are taking on their stress and you're taking on their products, you're taking on their vision. The question is, why? Do you really believe in that? Corporations drive profit. They see you as a number. You checked off and you cut and the next one comes. You're replaceable. What's not replaceable is the health. The two part to this is you're not living your dream life is because you're not optimally functioning. And for most of us, a dream life can be a healthy life. The choices we make with our bodies, what we feed our mind, what we see, what we feed, what we interpret, how we react, the stress that we endure at work, which translates into the relationship we have with food, our daily habits, the exercise, the steps, the fasting, the sleeping, the water. Fundamentally, these sound very simple, right? And it sounds like it's a lot. But it's necessary. We're taught that This is the dream, to work for a corporation. This is what we're taught, fed, and a lot of us have buried our dreams and our calling. It's easy to do it. It's easy to ignore it. But as time goes on, you're not happy. I know I'm not happy. I wasn't happy. I was very depressed. Make that make sense. I'm getting paid handsomely. I was so depressed. There's such a toxic work culture in my previous role. Everyone blames someone. Accountability. Lack of resources. Doing 3 people's jobs. Excuse me. And then you go to sleep with that stress. You respond to emails at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning because somehow that's job security. Somehow you're in the good graces of not being fired. Whether it's 3 months from now, 6 months from now, do you see yourself in that job 1 year from now? I mean, let's face it. I mean, these days, the environment that we live in, the economy we live in, that corporate job was never guaranteed to begin with. And it never will be. But that's all I knew. Finance, banking, fintech, software as an application, technology, credit, treasury management. I'm a little smart. And I thought, that's the dream. But as an artist, I cannot stop creating. I cannot stop being curious. I cannot just sit on my set of lived experiences. I cannot give up for the fact that I've been inconsistent on this channel. It hasn't even been a full year that I've showed up. I took time off 3-4 months. I just froze. I had anxiety, panic attacks. I was working my tail off at work. I just gave up on the channel. If you go to my earlier videos, I talk about when I started this channel, when I actually gave it the name. I had a logo. But then again, I just couldn't, over paralysis by over-analysis, I got there. It happened. I think a lot of times we were just afraid of living our dream life is we're too tied. We're too tied to the outcome. We're outcome independent. We want the results now. As in anything, even with fitness, your diet, your body changing, your habits change, These things take time to adopt, to acclimate to. It doesn't happen overnight, but the fear I have is not starting. And I'm here now. And it's still scary. I don't know who my tribe is. I don't know who my people are. In my head, though, I have it programmed. It's just to keep showing up. Just to keep showing up. This is the dream. Kobe Bryant, he said it very well in his retirement game in 2016, the final game against Utah Jazz, that the championships and all, we all seek a championship. That's the ultimate goal, right? But that's not the dream. This is the dream. This moment right here that you're faced with is the dream. This moment exposes who you are, your vulnerabilities, the self-doubt, the fear, the anxiety, the PTSD, the demons. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. I can't stress this enough that the very thing that you're afraid of is the very thing you need to face. What is that thing in you? That voice? What is that facade that you're wearing that you just cannot strip off? What are you hiding? This requires you to go deep inside, within, and honor that voice. Whatever you're struggling with, if you're feeling some sort of way, that's a good thing. That's resistance. You're fighting something you should not be fighting. Instead, you should be honoring, and you should be getting closer to that calling. I've said this before, and I say this now, is we tend to get stuck. We tend to get in our own way. Our ways are such that we get into our own way. We're programmed. We can't break out of a habit that we have known. We cannot operate in the unfamiliarity of things. If you haven't seen my other videos, I put myself in a position where I can sustain a lifestyle here for the next year and a half. That gives me some peace and comfort. But it doesn't mean that each day goes by that I'm just going to sit, and relax. My sleep schedules change a little bit. I'm a little lazier. I stay up late. But you should see my output. Right now, I'm probably easily doing 13, 14, 15,000 steps a day. Working out, lifting. All of this is possible is because I put fitness, wellness at the top of the food chain, top of my priority list, top of my vision board. And while I started this channel as a fasting wellness channel, it's all tied to health anyway. All these things are tied to health anyway. So might as well tell a story. Might as well tell my lived experiences with you. There's so much to share. And I know you have many gifts to share. We are not for everybody. We're not going to be liked by everybody. You may make people feel a certain way by your face, by the way you look, by your hand gestures on YouTube. Us humans, we're very complex people, very judgmental. We'll sit back and criticize people who are putting themselves out there and eat junk food and criticize them. We just hate. People will hate. But just remember, it's got nothing to do with you. That's a them problem, not a you problem. Once again, all of this is your vibe, is what you are projecting, what you're putting out there. And if you're doing YouTube, look at this as therapy. Document your life. Of course, there's privacy, but document your life. And you'll be surprised how many people you reach, how many people are watching, how many people will talk about you, and when they see you on YouTube, some family, extended friends and acquaintances may think you're odd. So what? Are they living their dream life? Do you need to people please? Do other people's opinion matter from that perspective? Or does creating content like this help you and others? I think there needs to be more of this, where people are just so genuine and honest. So I think we're up to nearly 20 minutes here, and I could keep going, but there's no straightforward answer as to why you're not living your dream life. I think that's for you to figure out inside your inner calling. A lot of this is deep work. Are you willing to do that? I'm out.